Today is a very important subject, where we cannot do any meritorious deeds, even as human beings. There are 8 places where we cannot perform or we cannot do any kind of meritorious deeds, regarded as very unfortunate living being, because during that lifetime they cannot accumulate any of good karma or meritorious deeds. Then after they are dead, they do not know what will happen to them, because they have not accumulated enough karma for the next existence. But karmas always follow us. There are many not yet affected. All of them follow us. When opportunities are there, then affect either good result or bad result. Until we attain nirvana, even the Buddha, Arhantas also had to face certain karmic effects. They follow. So these people, these 8 places, they waste their time actually. Then after they are dead, no one can say what will happen to them. What is their fate? It is mentioned, these 8, Tayo Apaya Aruppa. Tayo Apaya. 3 kinds of hells. Apaya means hell. Tayo means 3. 3 kinds of hells, where living beings cannot create any good karma. These 3, Naraka, Tirachina, Preta. Hell, animal, spirit or ghost. These 3. No one can create any good karma during their lifetime, because they are paying for what they have done and regarded as very unfortunate living being. And they have no idea of creating any good karma and no facilities, no opportunities. Those who suffer physically and mentally in various places as hell. There is no such particular place or ready-made place as hell. But others believe God created hell, it is ready. The Buddha says hell is not located in any particular place under this earth or under the great ocean. Hells are there everywhere where living being exists. They create this hell, not God created hell. According to our way of life, our thoughts, our words, our actions are bad, then we are creating hell. Nobody else. Then we had to pay for what we have done. It is not a punishment given by the God or Buddha. That is the reaction. That is the effect, cause and effect. It is natural. So, some human beings or animals or some other form of living beings also experience the suffering from their birth up to the last breath. The whole life is nothing but suffering, physically and mentally. That is called hell. There are many human beings who are in hell like this. So if our life in such condition, we have no chance whatsoever to create any good karma. But we can create bad karma. Because always hatred, anger, jealousy, grudge and ill will are boiling in our mind. Suffering, physically and mentally suffering. No good thoughts ever appear in their mind. Pirachina, animals. No doubt certain animals get good food and shelter and good treatment, but they are unfortunate. They also cannot create any good karma, but they can create bad karma. Now when you look at National Geographic program in television, the nature of animal life, how they try to catch another one and kill and eat for their survival. For their survival, they had to depend on another living being. And the other living being tried to escape from the death after running and running and running and running, finally. This is the nature of their existence. Whole day and night they are in fear, always very, very mindful. Get ready to run away. Animals. And their ears always working like this to catch. They have radar system here to catch rats, dogs, cats, cow, horses, rabbits. They have very sensitive ears, always working like this to catch. And suddenly run away to escape. That is their life. They also cannot create any good karma. The other one is a spirit ghost. There are two groups here. A spirit means as human beings, they work, they earn, they enjoy their life. They have not done any bad karma or any good karma. Very minor. Because no one can live without creating either good or bad minor karmas. Can survive. But these people never thought that they want to create any good karma. At the same time, they also not done any bad karma. Therefore, rebirth has not taken place in hell or animals, but in another place. There are two, preta. And they haven't got enough good karma to continue their journey. So they don't know what to do. And we do something for them. Transference of merits. By doing some meritorious deeds, we transfer the merit to them. But people cannot understand how we transfer, how they receive. This is a mental communication. Because after our death, although physically we are separated, our mental communication is still working. That is why some of them appear in dreams and give some information because of their connection. So, but their life is in very, very, what you call, unfortunate or miserable condition. This particular group. So what we do some meritorious deed, remember them, focus our mind directly toward them, mental communication, mental vibration. Then we recite something, sound vibration, both, because they are waiting, attune their wavelength to receive our vibration. It is like this. When you drive your motor car on the federal highway, without your knowledge, the engine suddenly stops. Because you did not notice the petrol is already finished. No more petrol. You cannot do anything. You had to wait until someone come and pour some oil into an engine. Then again you start the engine and continue the journey. So the pouring oil into that engine is just like transference of merit for them to continue their journey. If not, you try to start engine, doesn't work because battery is weak. After that, what you do? There are some people to push, then engine start. So the transference of merit is just like pushing to start the engine and continue the journey. Because there are certain other karmas to support them to continue their journey. But they were stuck, had no chance to function then. When they continue their journey, these karmas also support. That is the meaning of transference of merits. Then they cannot create any good karma, unfortunately. Then the other one is ghost. Two groups. A spirit, preta is one group. Ghost, there are four among those ghosts. You have only your hungry ghost. But in Buddhism there are four. Hungry ghost is one particular group. Nijjhamatannika, Khuppipātika, Pānsuphisājika, Paradattupajivi, four. Their names. Of course, in the Pali language, explain the condition, situation, their way of life by using these words. Khuppipātika. Whole day and night they suffer from hunger and thirst. But no one can satisfy them, quench their thirst, because their bad karma is such. Until their bad karma is extinguished, others cannot release them. We cannot transfer to this group merits. They cannot receive. Khuppipāsita. Then Nijjhamatannika. Do you know, those who die with very strong craving, attachment toward their property, and they have some sort of jealousy also, to go away by leaving all the properties, clinging to this property. If death take place, when they are clinging toward their property, then the life becomes very unfortunate. Because of that craving, existence again can take place in the ghost form. Because the last thought is attached to their property. That's why we have to release our mind from all those things when we come to know we are going to depart from this world. Free mind. Then the other good karmas get the chance to come and support us. Then another group, they spend their whole life in very dirty, filthy, ugly, smelly places like dirty drains and various other places, and to them that is their living dwelling places. They spend there for a long time. After that again rebirth takes place. Here these are the three places that they cannot create any good karma. Ayu, Apaya, Arupa. Then the next one, I think you have heard, in Brahma world, there is one group, life exists without active mind. mind exists but not active. Just like under anesthetic injection. Operation, they give injection, at least 3-4 hours, nothing, no, mind doesn't work. So the life in those Brahma world is exactly like that. The body remains, mind is not functioning. Mental energy is there, but not functioning. So they cannot do anything. So the Buddha says this is an utter waste stage. For a long time they can remain there. Another group, mental energy remains without any visible or tangible physical body. We cannot see. But the life is there. Now, the spirit, ghost, devils, devas, brahmas, we cannot see through our naked eyes. So the formation of their physical body is not like ours. We have more elements, 4 elements. In their case, very lesser degree of element and more mental energy. They are invisible to our naked eyes. So these 2 groups of Brahmas also cannot create any good karma. Just spend their time until their karma is extinguished. And who are these people? Those who have done meditation and by reducing their evil forces from the mind with different, what they call, concept and belief, not the method taught by the Buddha. This meditation method existed thousands and thousands of years ago, before the Buddha coming. But they have different technique, different method, different purposes. Since their minds are not pure, their concepts are not correct, and existence, rebirth take place in that. It is through meditation. So the meditation also can create a lot of problems if the concept is wrong. Then, here in this universe, there are endless world systems where there are some living beings exist, but they are not humans. Human beings exist only in this particular planet, nowhere else. So those living beings do not know anything about religion or religious way of life, just exist according to their own karma, either suffering or enjoying. There are many places where Buddha has mentioned this. Satta sahassi lokadhalto, 100,000 world systems. Now we know only one planet, this is one. 100,000 world systems where living beings exist. But people could not understand it. Recently, astronomers who have landed on the moon and studied the other planets, they say, definitely there are some living beings in certain planets. They say there is no doubt, but still could not communicate. Recently, they have watched very carefully Mars, the planet, and noticed there is water. If there is water, They say there must be living being. Earlier they have said there were living beings, existed long ago. Today we cannot find. That is what I mentioned last week. The more they discover, the more they come nearer to the teachings of God. So now there is no controversy. Definitely there are some living beings in various other world systems. But they have no religion. They do not know what is religion. That is why the Buddha said, they also cannot create good karma. Such ideas never appear in their mind. Just exist. The Buddha also mentioned that there are so many suns, so many moons in the space. People could not understand or believe this also. Astronomers say, yes, definitely, they have seen many more suns and moons in the space. Whatever they discover, they come nearer to the Buddha. Many more they will discover in time to come. Never contradict to the teachings of the Buddha. Because Buddha is called Loka Vidu. Loka means world. Vidu, knower. Knower of the world. His understanding about the world and the universe, we cannot compare with another person. Explain very clearly the nature of the world. He divided the whole universe into three groups. Satta Loka, Sankhara Loka, Akasa Loka. Satta means living beings. World systems where living beings exist. One group. We do not know how many thousands or how many millions. Universe, not only one universe. Universes, there are many more. We do not know. So, one group, living being exists. Another group, Sankhara Loka, elements, no living beings. Only elements remain there. Now they have landed on the moon. No living being, only element. Sun, many of those planets that they have studied, no living being, only element. And the earth that they have brought from the moon, you see, in the Washington Museum, I have seen them. The color, just like ashes color. And not like this. Of course, here also we can find same color, different areas. So only elements. Then a space. No element, no living being. This is called Loka Vidu. Knower of the world, explain the nature of the universe. So, those living beings cannot do any good karma. After doing some meritorious deeds, we create some aspiration. Aspiration means will or determination. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. I do not know whether you recite this yet. But we, every time when we perform some meritorious deeds, we recite this. Imina punya kammena, by the virtues of this meritorious deeds, ma me bala samagamo, may I never get the chance to associate with wicked, immoral, cruel, harmful people, because they mislead us. Avoid, keep away from them. Satang samagamo hotu, may I get the chance to associate with understanding, learned, virtuous people who can guide us. Yava nibbana pattiya, until I attain my final goal, nibbana. Now that means we create this determination in our mind to continue our journey without having any interruption, disturbances. Then we will be never, our rebirth or existence never take place in such places or some other unfortunate state. Because this one we have developed in our mind. After that, the karmic energy that we have accumulated paved the way for us to get into one of these fortunate states, not unfortunate states. So aspiration is very important. Now the Buddha, life after life, when he was practicing 10 paramitas or perfections or precepts or sila or morals and principles and so many things, aiming at one, aspiration. What is that aspiration? To become a Buddha. Only that. So he had done all the good qualities, aiming at Buddha, to become a Buddha. Not for his own benefit, but to pave the way for others, for their salvation. Therefore it is not difficult for us, aspiration, determination. Then rebirth never takes place in all those places where life is wasted for nothing. This exists. Next one, those human beings who have completely lost their 5 senses and thinking mind, normal way of thinking mind, completely lost. They also cannot create any good karma, because they cannot understand, they have no sense of reasoning, understanding, all the senses are blocked, cannot hear, cannot see, cannot smell, no feeling and no thinking, mind is upside down, cannot create any good karma. Panchindriyanang vekalya, Panchindriya, 5 senses, upside down. Mentally retarded. We can divide into 2-3 groups, mentally retarded. Some can think into certain extent and use little bit of reasoning also. But many others have lost that power to understand this is right, this is wrong, this is moral, this is immoral. They cannot understand. Upset. So they also cannot create good karma. That is why we had to work very carefully to avoid this unfortunate state of existence. If we neglect our duties, our human values, then uncertain. Nobody knows what will happen. Then we cannot create confidence. We also do not know what will happen to us. But we can develop this confidence if we create that aspiration in our mind and do some meritorious deeds. Then can continue. Human beings who have wrong belief, wrong ideas, wrong concepts, they also cannot create good karma. They think they are very clever. They know how to argue. They know how to ridicule and condemn. But the reasoning is wrong. It is mentioned 10 kinds of wrong belief or wrong concept, wrong ideas that many human beings maintain. If we have one of them, it's enough for us. Cannot create any good karma. There are 10. I think I explained to you some time ago. Natti dinnang, natti yittang, natti sukang, natti sukata dukkatang kammanang phalang vipako, natti ayang loko, natti paraloko, natti mata, natti pita, natti loke samana brahmana samaggata patipanna, natti satta upapatika. Are these 10 kinds of wrong belief. First thing about giving or offering or donating. If people believe, why should we give and donate to others? We are not responsible for them. Therefore, no point of giving anything to anybody. That is a wrong belief. If we maintain this belief, very difficult for us to carry on our religious way of life. In 3 ways we practice this. First thing, by inviting them. Second thing, by approaching them. Now we approach old folks' home, orphanages, and there are poor people. We approach, provide food and medicines, what they can. If not, we invite them. Again, we organize certain kind of dana as a festival, like a celebration. 3 ways. But these people reject all this, in no point, no meaning, wasting. So if we maintain this belief, we cannot create dukkha. Natti sukata dukkatang kammanang phalang vipako. We can do anything whatever we like. No one can say whether they are good or bad. We must have right to do whatever we like. Therefore, there is no such thing as good karma or bad karma. There is no such thing that good karma create good result or bad karma create bad result. There is no such thing. If you maintain this belief, you had it. You cannot create any good karma. There are some people. Natti ayang loko, natti paraloko. We never existed before. This is the only line. First and the last. After our death, there is nothing. No next life. So if we give up this belief, we are not scared to do any kind of immoral or wicked or harmful thing. Because after our death there is nothing. That is why it's so dangerous. We can forget the previous birth. That is not very important. Because we have lost that memory. It is in our subconscious mind, but we cannot bring up. Occasionally, sometimes children suddenly remember their last birth, then start telling everything, all the details. Correct. Memory is there. But 1 or 2 years, they can maintain that memory of their discipline. All of us have this memory in our subconscious mind, but we cannot bring them up. But there are people who know how to hypnotize. When they hypnotize us, they allow our mind to reach the subconscious mind. Then dig out all those things what is deposited in the subconscious. Then go to the last birth where we were. Start to tell different language, all the detail. No one can deny this. There are people who can do that. Under the influence of hypnotism, that person speaks a different language that person never studied within this lifetime, last birth. All are there in our subconscious mind. So if we believe that, maintain this. This is the only life, never existed before, after our death, no existence, that is the end of everything. Then no chance of creating any meritorious deeds. Next one. I didn't explain all the 10. Natti ayang loko, natti paraloko. Natti mata, natti pita. Father and mother. Why do we respect them? Why do we support them? Why do we attend to them? Leave them alone. Those who maintain such belief are also under the same category. They cannot create good karma. Because it is bounden duty that we cannot escape under any circumstances, that we are indebted to our father and mother. Whether they are good or bad, that is their business. There are certain duties. Every religion, not only Buddhism. I have repeated on many occasions, I think. Even Prophet Muhammad, when he was asked, you always talk about heaven. Can you tell me where this heaven is? He said, heaven is at the feet of your mother. That means those who attend to their mother will be born in heaven. This is Islam. Hindu, in Sanskrit, they say, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. Regard your father and mother as living God. Respect. Buddhism. Buddha. Brahmati Mata Pitaro. Brahma is higher than Devas. He said, regard your father and mother as Brahma, higher than all the others. Even Christianity, in the Bible you can see it. Honor thy father, honor thy mother. All the existing religions advise people to do their duties towards the father and mother. You can say they have not done anything for us. Why should we support them? From our childhood they have neglected us. They have not done anything for us. If we do something for them, by knowing that they have not done anything for you, everybody respects you. So they say, yes, we know how the parents neglected these children, but now they come and support. Everybody respects. Therefore we should not say, oh, they have not done anything for us, therefore why should we do it? We come to this world because of them. They carried us and dropped father and mother. They cannot mold us. They cannot create us. The duty of the father and mother is to bring and drop here. Then they take their responsibility to look after them. King Kosala, one day when he was talking to the Buddha, somebody came and whispered something to his ear. Then the king's face became very sour. Then the Buddha asked, why, what happened? He said, my queen was expecting a baby. I was thinking that he is a baby boy. Just now I heard it's a baby girl. I am not very happy. Then the Buddha said, do you know, sometimes girls are better than the boys? He used this word. Another religious teacher has never said like this. Girls are better than the boys. Then he said, the ruler of a country, the king, nurtured, attended, looked after by a woman. So a woman molded this king, the ruler of the country. So why do you think that women are very low? He consoled the king. So, we cannot neglect, especially mother. The Buddha starts mother and father, not father and mother, never. And Muhammad says, heaven is at the feet of your mother, not father. Why? The mother is the one who had to suffer at the risk of her life because of this baby, not the father. Father work hard and earn and support. But all the pain, trouble, whole day and night without sleeping, who attend to this baby? The mother. That is why Muhammad also says, heaven is at the feet of your mother. So those who think it is not necessary for us to do anything for our father and mother, and they are wrong. Entirely wrong idea. Well, in a modern society, we have different methods. They have no time to attend to them personally, but they do their duty. If not at home, nursing home or somewhere, to attend to them, that is enough, good enough. And those who have enough time, personally they can attend. It is a meritorious deed, not only duty. When you support your father and mother, you create some good karma, not only your duty. It's a Mangala Sutra, the Buddha says. Those who attend to their father and mother get the blessing in Mangala Sutra. Mata Pitu Upatthana. Upatthana means support. Those who support their father and mother gain the blessing, not only marriage. So the next one, the period where the Buddhas never come into existence. During that period, people completely forgotten religious way of life. It will take millions or billions of years for a Buddha to appear in this world. Reason is, that is the most difficult task, become a Buddha. For a person to become a Buddha, he must eradicate all the evil thoughts, words, actions. Now you can understand, to get rid of one evil thought from our mind, how difficult within one lifetime. Let us take one, jealousy. All of us have jealousy. No one can say, I have no jealousy. But we never gain anything by developing this jealousy. But can we get rid of this jealousy completely within one lifetime? What about selfishness? What about anger? What about greed? To become a Buddha, a person must uproot completely all these things one by one, one by one. That is what he had done life after life, life after life, went on developing. No one can do this within one lifetime. Again, all the good deeds, precept, principles, morals, ethics must be cultivated by developing kindness or compassion or sympathy, honesty, patience, tolerance, understanding, all the good qualities, develop. So, within one lifetime, can we develop one of these up to that extent? Occasionally we may show our kindness, sympathy, but next time, forget it. And then, purifications of the mind. Mind must be completely purified. No more dirt in the mind. When all these things are completed, that person gains enlightenment. So enlightenment means Buddha. Now you can understand how difficult it is. That is why we come and kneel down and we worship for achieving such great sacredness and holiness and enlightenment. So Buddhas appear and preach. His teaching exists for a few thousand years. Now 2,500 years gone. When you study what Buddhists are doing all over the world, I think 50% lost. Different belief, different ideas, different interpretation, different practices, which Buddha has not recommended, our own. Then the Dharma slowly fade away from our mind. We add something else as Dharma, our own. The Buddha has mentioned this. Immediately after gaining his enlightenment, he mentioned like this. Pāturahosi magadesu gubbe dhammo asuddho samalehi chinti. This Dharma that I understood is not a new Dharma. This Dharma existed long ago. But people have forgotten, people have misinterpreted, people have blindfolded others in the name of Dharma, in the name of religion, mislead others. That is why the Buddhas appear from time to time to reveal the Dharma that disappears from our mind. We can understand it naturally. So, if we were born in a certain period where people have completely forgotten about the Dharma, then we do not know anything. We are also just like those animals. So we have no chance to create any good karma. We cannot create such idea in our mind that we want to do some good karma. We do not know the value of this good karma. Next one, although dharma exists, you are not interested. When we go and ask, why not you come and attend to religious talk, no other work. They do not know how to appreciate, they don't want to learn, they don't want to know, they go their own way. But dharma exists. Cannot create any good karma. We have to accept the dharma. Then try to adjust our way of life according to this dharma. Otherwise, by nature we have more bad habits. By nature. They are inborn qualities. That is why children, small children, very easily learn all the bad things. No need to teach. They learn very good bad things. But to learn good things, you have to send them to school, you have to give them private tuition, still they cannot learn. But bad things they learn themselves. No need to teach. Now then you can understand, by nature we are bad. By knowing we are bad, we try to be good by following. Now here you can understand why religion is important. To overcome our own weaknesses through our understanding. Now these are the 8 places or the conditions where we cannot create any good karma. Now today we have all these, we are free from all these 8 conditions. Therefore, we are very fortunate. The dharma exists. You want to know that. You try to practice. So you don't believe that this is the only life. You don't believe not necessary to look after, attend to our father and mother. So you never think, oh, I can do anything whatever I like. Others have no right to say anything. You never think like that. Therefore, you are free from all these 8 unfortunate states. So, lot of opportunities are there for you to create good karma. You are not mad. All your senses are working. Therefore, you are very fortunate. Anyway, right. Sharing of merits. Ready? Imina punya kammena upajjaya gunuttara acari upakaraca mata pita piya mamang suriyo candi maharaja gunavanta narapica Brahma Maharaja Indraja Lokapalaja Devata Yamo Mitta Manusaja Majjata Verikapicha Sabbe Satta Sukhi Hantu Punyani Pakata Sukhanca Dividang Dentu Hippang Papeta Omatang Imina Punya Kammena Imina Uddisena Ca Hippang Sulabhe Ceva Tanno Padana Cek ये संताने नादम्मा याव निब्बानतो ममं नस्सन्तु सब्बदायेव यत्र जातो भवे भवे उज्जुचित्तो सतिपञ्ञो सल्लेको विरियवामिन मारालभन्तु नोकासं कातुञ्च विरियेषु मे बुद्धादिपवरो नातो धम्मो नातो अरुत्तमो नातो पच्चेक सम्बुद्धो संघो नातो तेषोत्तमानुभावेन मारो संलभन्तु माम् भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वधर्मानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु